Hello, good day, class. Um, for this course speech writing, this is our ninth video, which also implies that this is the ninth module, and the topic on for this module is logical issues in speech writing. So we have logical issues in speech writing to address or to treat in this module. And the contents of the module. For the contents of the module, we have the use of evidence in speech writing, the use new or current evidence. So using reliable sources, relate the evidence to your thesis, and types of reasonings. So for the introductory part, we have some common logical fallacies, include the ad hominem attack, where the argument attacks the person rather than the issue. Yeah, well, that is in some arguments. The argument instead of the argument to attack the issue on ground, the issue that is being discussed, it's rather attack the person in charge. So and the straw man fallacy, which misrepresents an opponent's argument to make it easier to attack. The appeal to authority fallacy inappropriately cites an authority figure, and the false dilemma fallacy presents only two options when more exist. So by understanding these fallacies, a speechwriter can easily avoid them in their own work and identify them in the arguments of others. This will promote clear, honest, and effective communication and speech writing. So now we have the use of evidence in speech writing. So evidence is the foundation of persuasive speech, lending credibility and supporting the speaker's claims. It can take many forms, including facts, statistics, examples, anecdotes, and experts' opinions. The effective use of evidence involves selecting relevant and reliable sources. So try to ensure that the writer is making use of the reliable sources or selecting the reliable sources before before writing a speech. So and when incorporating evidence, it is essential to cite sources properly, ensuring transparency and allowing the audience to verify the information. That's another point. So evidence should be integrated smoothly into the speech, and it should not just be presented as isolated facts. Evidence can be seen as any supporting materials used in a speech, particularly in a persuasive speech. This could be statistics, examples, or testimony. So now moving on, we have the use new or current evidence. So using new and current evidence in speech writing is very crucial for maintaining relevance, credibility, and impact also. So now current evidence keeps the speech up to date and reflects the latest developments, while new evidence can offer fresh perspective and insights. Now, to incorporate new or current evidence effectively, a speechwriter should regularly research the topic, staying informed about recent findings, data, and events. The evidence should be from reliable sources such as peer-reviewed journals, reputable news organizations, and experts' reports. When using this evidence, it is important to provide context, explaining why the information is relevant and how it supports the speech main points. So now we have visual aids such as charts or graphs can also enhance the presentation of new data. By integrating current evidence, the speechwriter can demonstrate their knowledge and creativity. So now we have use of reliable sources. So utilizing reliable sources in speech writing is crucial for establishing credibility and ensuring the accuracy of information. So now let's look at what reliable sources are. So reliable sources are those that are trustworthy, unbiased, and provide factual information. To identify reliable sources, we should consider the following. You have author's expertise, sources reputation, bias and objectivity, accuracy and fact checking, and currency. So these are the major things to be considered. These are the major things to be considered. When identifying reliable resources. We have the author's expertise, and that is the area or field where the author is specialized. We have the source's reputation, and bias and objectivity, accuracy and fact checking. At least we must make sure that the information is accurate and factual enough. So now we should look. We'll also be looking at relating the evidence to thesis. So relating evidence to your thesis is a critical step in speech writing because it bridges the gap between your claims and the supporting information, ensuring that your argument is clear, convincing, and well supported. So below are the breakdown of how to effectively relate evidence to your thesis. We have 1. Understanding your thesis. That is, the writer should first understand the topic or the thesis that he or she is writing. Now we have number 2. We have secondly, we have select relevant evidence. Make sure that relevant evidence is being selected. Then we have explain the connection. Try to link the evidence to your topic, to the thesis. How is it connected? A writer should be able to do that, explaining the connection between the evidence and the thesis. Now use transitional phrases and analyze and interpret. Analyze and interpret, summarize and synthesize. And that's how that is how we can relate the evidence to our thesis. So now types of reasonings as another subtopic in this module. According to Lucas, he identifies 4 main types of reasoning relevant to speech writing or speech making. So we have 1, reasoning from specific instances or inductive reasoning. 2, we have reasoning from principle or deductive reasoning. 3, we have casual reasoning. We have 4, we have analogical reasoning. And 5, we have reasoning from specific angle. So now let's to conclude with, evidence is a cornerstone of effective speech writing, as we have said over in this module. Strong, well-chosen evidence clarifies the writer's message and make the writer's argument persuasive. Equally important is logical reasoning. Flaws in logic can confuse. Sorry about that. Flaws in logic can confuse audiences and undermine even the strongest points. To avoid logical errors, make sure you revise your speech multiple times and draft it. Paying close attention to the flow of ideas and the strength of connections between points. It is also invaluable to have others review it to ask them specifically to examine the reasoning. If any part could be misunderstood or read differently than intended, rephrase it properly. In short, we should strive for a speech that is clear in message, precise in language, and airtight in logic. Thank you.